Hello and welcome back to Super Taco Crew. We'll be continuing where we left off, which, if you recall, is after Edgar pretty much downed a plane because Furion and Nikolai basically killed quote-unquote James. But now, as a result of this, I guess Edgar is now in the possession of Furion's super weapon, which is a mechanical Drake. Who, at the very end of the previous chapter, basically said, "Oh, James is alive. You don't have to worry any. You don't have to worry about him. He's alive." And Edgar's like, "Okay, how do you know?" But yeah, so I guess we will find out whether or not James is alive or not in this chapter. Hopefully, possibly. I don't know how Edgar's gonna be running around with a big robot of his own, but we'll see. But yeah, anyways, so without further ado, let us continue Super Taco Crew. Edgar awoke, not remembering exactly when he fell asleep. He jumped up and groaned from the pain in his stomach. "So, you're finally awake?" "Yeah. God, this hurts." "Here, take this." Zeke retrieved a kettle from the stove and poured its contents into a cup with herbs in it. He handed the cup to Edgar. "What is it?" "It will help with the pain. Let it cool first, though." Thanks." Edgar looked over to his side. The Drake was lying motionless. "Hey, are you awake, Alpha Drake?" "Yes." I think Alpha Drake is too long. How about I call you Al?" "Al. Yes, Al." "I don't know if I was dreaming, but did you say James is alive? Last night?" "Yes, James, alive." "How do you know that? I thought Nikolai killed him." "Limited function. 6 hours remaining." "Limited function? What does that mean?" "Al cannot perform all functions. Cannot show Edgar." "I think he's trying to say he has a limiter installed?" "A limiter? Huh. I'm just a senile old man. Don't listen to me." Anyways, you were saying James? Is that your friend?" Yeah. I thought he died back there, but Al said he's alive." "That is a conundrum. Do you believe him?" I don't know." "You should drink your tea now. Should be cool enough." Edgar took the tea and sipped it. It tasted herbal with a hint of sweetness. "This is great. I'm feeling better already." "It's hoja dulce tea. I'm glad you enjoyed it." Thank you." Edgar continued sipping the cup. "The wound seemed really bad yesterday. How did you patch it up?" "Well, it was mostly a flesh wound. The bullet passed right through you, a few inches in either direction, and... yeah, I guess I got lucky again." "You're darn right. Count your lucky stars." Edgar put the empty cup down. "How do I get back to New Borealis?" Zeke went over to the window and looked outside. "It's a few hours to the east, walking." Zeke motioned over to Al. "But maybe your friend can fly you over there?" Edgar looked at Al. "Well, you can't fly, can't you, Al?" "Fly, limited." Edgar sighed. "But you flew me down." "Hover mode, unrestricted." You're not so ultimate after all." Al stared straight ahead. "Before you leave, take some food, and here is a water bottle." "Thank you. I can't tell you enough how much I appreciate your kindness." "You're very welcome. Just pass it along." Edgar took the big bag and the water bottle. They walked outside, and Edgar took the fresh air into his lungs. Edgar walked east, and Al followed. He waved at Zeke, and he waved back. The time of awakening is here already, and I was here to witness it. Zeke sipped his tea. Somehow, you're involved, Edgar. Good luck to you. He was so nice. The fox walked and the machine followed. Edgar's quiet steps were a stark contrast to the Drake's heavy crunching steps. The morning mist felt cool on Edgar's face as he walked. He wanted to move faster, but his bullet wound still hurt. I wonder if we can be there before sundown. Edgar looked back at Al. He was still somewhat conflicted with him being a destructive weapon and all. But he saved Edgar's life and gave him hope, and he said that he wanted to protect Edgar for some reason. It didn't make any sense. Al? Yes, Edgar? Do you remember anything before yesterday? Before yesterday? Yeah, like when you were sleeping? Yes, dark. Then Edgar. Edgar puzzled it over. He wanted to ask more questions, but figured it would just lead to more confusion. The two walked for a few hours until they came upon a river. I'm exhausted. Let's take a break. He sat under a tree and opened the bag the old raven handed him. Oh, it smells great. He unwrapped the paper and inside were gorditas with bean and rice filling. He took a bite out of one. Mmm, delicious. These are really close to how my mom used to make them. Say, you don't want one, do you? Al does not require energy. I guess this would be nothing for you. The Drake stood motionless over Edgar. You can sit, you know. Sit. Al went over to Edgar and sat down next to him. What am I gonna do with you? It's not like I can leave you here. Edgar ate his food and heard the rushing water of the river. Hopefully we can find a way inside the city. Otherwise, I don't know what we're gonna do. 2 hours. 2 hours and you're... Yes, 2. I guess we better get going then. Edgar took a swig of his water and got up and started walking. His wound was aching again and his legs were tired. Al, are you... my friend? Friend? Like, would you ever hurt me? Al never hurt Edgar. But why? Aren't you designed to destroy things? Because dark, Edgar. Never mind. They continued walking, mostly in silence. Edgar heard wild birds and small critters in the bushes. He felt guilt clawing at his heart. Even if James was alive, where could he be? Why didn't Nikolai kill him? Even if he was alive, was he in danger? All of these questions were burning up inside of Edgar, but Al provided no answers. After another long walk, Edgar saw the city walls beyond the tree line. Edgar was so tired, gasping for breath. His wound was shooting waves of pain with every step. Edgar, okay? Yeah, just... a little tired. He caught his breath, then stopped. They were at the tree line overlooking the massive wall. How the heck do we get in there? I haven't been outside since I was a kid. Al, is there anything that you can do? Maybe you can just break it? I mean, it's kind of thick, but... Al? Edgar looked over at Al. He was standing motionless. Al! Edgar walked over and placed his hands on Al's arm. He could still feel the microscopic movements of the machine, but Al wasn't awake anymore. Al... I guess that's all the time we have for now. Edgar stepped away. He was feeling sad all over again, like he just lost another friend. I'll be back for you, okay? Al stood motionless. I don't know what to do. Feeling frustrated, Edgar started walking towards the wall and then walked alongside it. It was solid steel. Ahead, he could see a section with towers near it. He approached them. "Hey! Hey!" Edgar waved his arms and yelled. "Hey! Over here! I need help!" After a few minutes, he heard something that sounded like an aircraft. He heard the speaker go off. "Stay where you are." The aircraft landed and the door opened. Out stepped a squadron with masks and guns pointed at Edgar. "Turn around! Turn around! Drop to your knees! Hands behind your back!" Edgar panicked but did as he was told. He felt the soldiers grab his hands and put cuffs on him. "You are under arrest for high crimes against the nation of Brazil." Edgar said nothing instinctively. In the distance, he saw the forest and recalled the peaceful serenity. "James, I'll take you there someday." The soldier forced him to get up, and he was escorted into the aircraft. "Make sure to grab the machine. It should be nearby." Edgar didn't want to listen anymore. He felt a dread and despair take hold of him again. The soldier sat him down in the back of the aircraft and across from him. He stared at him. Edgar looked away out of the tiny window. The aircraft took off and the forest disappeared. Edgar was so tired. The flight was not long at all. Edgar saw outside the window was New Borealis. Although it was familiar, he now felt it was a plague upon his soul. A dirty, ugly place he didn't want to be in anymore. The aircraft flew towards the palace. Edgar had never been inside, but had heard of it. It was incredibly secretive. The aircraft flew over the gate and landed vertically on a platform. "Get out!" Edgar stood up, and as he walked, the guard jammed his gun into Edgar's back. He stumbled forward but regained his footing. "Jerk." They walked outside the aircraft, and in front of him stood a large set of ornate-looking doors. The soldier shoved him forward again, and Edgar walked, letting a curse under his breath. Once they reached the door, a dog in an ornate golden suit opened it. They walked inside. They entered through the palace doors. It seemed old-fashioned, and yet everything was pristine and well-kept. Through the entrance at the other end, a large-looking man came through. "So, our guest has arrived." His voice was coarse and heavy. "Please, leave us." "Yes, sir." The soldiers exited the room, closing the heavy doors behind them. "What is your name?" "I'm Edgar. What's yours?" The dog frowned. "I'm High Commander Theodore. I lead the armed forces of New Borealis." "Oh, well, nice to meet you." "The pleasure is mine." "So, why did you bring me here?" "You are a survivor of a crashed aircraft, are you not?" "Yes?" "Yes, I am." "The question is, what were you doing on an unregistered aircraft?" "I was taken prisoner. I didn't have a choice." "Who took you prisoner?" "It was Furion, the leader of Black Star." "That correlates with our findings. Things are starting to add up now. I believe Furion was secretly attempting a coup on this country." "A coup?" "Yes, we gathered intelligence on a weapon that he was designing. It is hard for me to admit, but we had no knowledge such a thing was possible. We found the weapon, but it seems unresponsive. Do you know anything about that?" "Yes?" "Yes, he has limited functions currently. After a set amount of time, he shut down." "I see. Perhaps that is fortunate." "We did not find Furion's body in the wreckage. It is possible that he can come back and reactivate it. We cannot take that chance." "Furion is alive?" "It is possible. We are not certain." Edgar felt a pit in his stomach deepen. "I need to go, please." "Unfortunately, that is not possible." "What? Why?" "The system has pulled several crimes from your past that have gone unanswered. Moreover, you are not a citizen of this state, so certain rights are automatically waived. Once you are in the system, due process must take place. That's not fair. I did what I had to do to survive. You can't punish me for that. Unfortunately, it isn't up to me. Only a judge can determine that. What will happen to me? You will be placed in a security facility until the date of your trial. When will that be? I do not know. I am sorry. Guards, please escort our guest. The guards came back in and grabbed Edgar. He went along willingly, defeated. Mom and I entered the diagnosis room. Hold very still. The strange triangle-looking thing surrounded Mom, and strange images started showing up on the screen. After a few seconds, a screen popped up. Diagnosis, Canoma abscillus, 99 PCT chance. Ah, Canoma abscillus. This is interesting. I have never heard of that. This is a neurological disease, but it has been cured for decades. Usually the vaccines given to infants take care of this kind of thing. Can you help us? Of course. All we have to do is reprogram the antibody nanobots. The doctor opened a panel in the wall and pulled out a syringe and unwrapped it. It was pre-filled with a viscous fluid. He inserted it into the computer. This should only take a few minutes. The doctor's cell phone rang. Hello? The patient has no... The doctor looked at Mom. All right. Got it. He put his phone away. Ma'am, unfortunately, I need you to return to the lobby. My assistant will be with you shortly. Oh, okay. Mom got off the table. Edgar got a strange feeling. He knew something wasn't right. He felt his heart start pounding in his chest. Doc. We're not gonna threaten the doctor. Edgar knew in the pit of his stomach this was it. They walked back outside. Edgar didn't know why he was remembering such ugly things. Perhaps it was better than being in this cold, dingy place. The cell door opened and the rhino guard tossed Edgar inside. Now, don't act out. Just keep quiet in here and we can get along. Got it? Good. The rhino closed the heavy cell door with a thunk and a click. Edgar put his back to the wall. He had no energy left. He wanted to sit on the bed, but the mattress looked disgusting and stained. He looked around. There was a small barred window behind him. The room was mostly featureless and bland. It's really over. He felt the hope leave his body and cold emptiness take over. James, where are you? Are you really alive? Something told him James wasn't okay. He couldn't believe that. Whoever James was, he probably needed help. He dropped himself, sitting with his back to the wall. Damn it. Hey, can you hear me? Edgar jumped and looked around. There was a small crack on the other wall. Hello? Hey, over here. Edgar went to the other side of the cell, looking through the crack. Hey. Huh, I finally have someone next to me. It's been a while. You sound friendly too. My name is Mickey. Oh, I'm Edgar. Edgar, huh? I haven't heard of you. I guess you're not infamous like me. You're infamous? Well, online I am. That's what I'm in for. Oh, really? You sound young. I'm what some people call a rebel. I was charged with attempted to cause a social unrest. Which is bullshit. People should be unrestful. Have you seen what it's like out there? What do you mean? Things are bad. People are going hungry, gangs are rampant. We're just increasing policing and pretending everything is fine. But we never attack the root cause. What do you mean? The state is known as a paradise, but it's only a paradise for the wealthy. It's the bottom class who works the hardest and keeps everything going. But what about the machines? They have been steadily filling in those roles, haven't they? Sure, and what do you think will happen once machines have completely replaced menial labor? I assume everyone would be free to pursue whatever they'd like? No way. The ones on top need us constantly busy and chasing the next thing. The wealthy and powerful are afraid of a free lower class. They fear us. So if they can't control us, then they will get rid of us. Don't be ridiculous. I don't think they'll do something like that. Why not? At the end of the day, a machine doesn't talk back and make demands. If a machine can completely replace the lower class, what do they need us for? We won't even get the chance to live. I don't know. Sounds far-fetched. Well, maybe, but at least now you can consider it. There was a silence and the sounds of banging and yelling far away. So, what are you in for? Well, it's a long story. We've got time, haven't we? Yeah, I guess so. Alright, I guess I'll tell you. Edgar told him about Furion and the ultimate weapon, Alpha Drake. How he crashed the plane and tried to get back home. And how he was captured by the High Commander and sent here. Wow, I had no idea I was talking to such a prolific criminal. Hey, I'm not a criminal. I'm just doing what I have to do. And you got to see the High Commander? That must have been a really powerful weapon for him to get involved personally. Yes, Al is very impressive, very smart and capable. I had no idea they had weapons like that. That makes things even scarier. I don't really know what Furion was planning with it. Well, he could wipe out an entire state full of people very easily from the sounds of it. That's exactly the kind of thing that I was talking about. Yeah, maybe. And your friend? Do you think he's alright? I hope so. Edgar hugged his knees tightly. Hey, thanks for listening to me. I have a gift for you. It's not much, but here, it's a nice treat. Edgar heard something slide in the crack. It was a stick of gum. Thanks. I appreciate it. No problem. Don't get caught with it, obviously. Edgar grabbed the stick and stuck it inside of his sleeve. I can't believe everything you just told me. I'm gonna have to blog about that when I get out. Oh, shh. Edgar picked up the noise as well. The guard's heavy footsteps were getting closer. The guard passed by Edgar's cell, glancing through the small window, and kept going. After a while, his footsteps were gone. You can't be too careful. Those guys will screw you up if you get caught doing anything suspicious. I'll keep that in mind. How often do they come around? Every hour on the hour. Edgar sighed. I don't want to be here. This is all my fault. Hey, stop feeling sorry for yourself. I might be surrounded by steel, but I haven't given up, and neither should you. Your friend, you want to see him again, right? Hold on to that. Don't give up until you don't have a single breath left. But how can I get out of here? Well, if I knew I wouldn't be here. Edgar scratched his head. One aspect of being a thief, you always assume that there's a way in and out. Sure, I follow you. There's always a weak link, always something that hasn't been considered or taken seriously. The trick is to find that weak spot. Well, what's the weakness here? I don't know, but I gotta find it. This place is pretty secure. There are guards patrolling and the guards in towers outside. The doors are impenetrable and there's nothing around the facility but empty fields. Nowhere to hide. Edgar got up and looked outside the window. Mickey was right. An endless field outside, and in the distance he could see the city again. I know how we're getting out. What? Tell me, dude. I can't, otherwise it won't work. Edgar sat in silence, waiting. He could feel the nervous energy of Mickey. They would need a miracle as usual. Edgar's ears twitched, picking up the guard, walking again. He neared Edgar's cell. Edgar went up to the little window. As the guard opened it, To look inside, Edgar spat in his eyes. Hey, ugly, just wanted to clean you up a little bit. Ugh, you're gonna pay for that. The rhino wiped his eyes. Edgar backed up, hearing the door unlock. What are you gonna do about it? I can take you. The rhino stomped inside, with a baton in his hand. Ha! I'm gonna enjoy this. The rhino swung his club, but Edgar dodged it. Edgar ran up, grabbing onto the rhino and punching him in the throat. He felt the rhino grab him by the neck and slam him into the wall. Then he started wailing his club at Edgar's midsection. Ah! Edgar fell to the ground and curled up in a ball. Hit after hit, the severity of each strike seared through his body. Edgar heard his bones crack as a club smashed against him. He clenched his jaw as hard as he could, focusing on that. The rhino gave him a final kick. He then spat on Edgar. You're looking kind of rough. Clean yourself up. Edgar coughed up blood. Everything went dark. I was on the swing on the big tree at my house. Up and up I went, then back down. I love feeling the rush of the wind. Mom was pushing me. Woohoo! Look at you go, Edgar. I loved it when I went up, how I saw the sky coming at me. It felt like I was falling into it. Up there I saw the faint crescent moon. It was so magical, like looking into another world. Woo! I wish every day could be like this. It was a perfect day. Edgar awoke, feeling a massive pain in his chest. Ow. Hey, Edgar, are you okay? Edgar slowly sat up, feeling intense pain in his ribs. I think I have a cracked rib or two, but I'll be fine. What the hell did you do that for? I had to get something. Edgar reached into his jumpsuit and pulled it out, a small flashlight. What did you get? Our ticket out of here. You'll see. You're one crazy guy, Edgar. How long was I out? I guess about an hour. The guard just passed by. Alright, perfect timing. Edgar slowly got up and hobbled over to the bed. He tore off a piece of the dry, crusted mattress bedding with his teeth. Ugh, gross. He took the flashlight, unscrewed the cap, and removed the battery inside. Then he took the gum from his pocket and removed the foil wrapping. He carefully folded it in half and placed each half on each side of the battery, putting the middle into a V shape. What are you doing? Starting a fire. What? At the midsection of the foil, a small fire lit up. Edgar smiled to himself. Hopefully this works. Edgar lit up the balled up piece of bedding and threw it outside. He looked out the window and saw the grass start to catch fire. Whoa, I see it. The fire outside was growing bigger and bigger. The fire spread rapidly. Then Edgar lit up his mattress. Okay, here goes nothing. Edgar got as close to the door as he could. Help! There's a fire! Help! The fire was getting bigger now. The rhino ran to the door and looked inside. You did this, didn't you? No, I didn't do anything. The rhino ran back somewhere and came back after a few seconds. The smoke was starting to rise in Edgar's cell. The guard ran in, spraying down the fire Edgar had started. Once the fire settled down, he grabbed the fire extinguisher as if it were a weapon. Looks like you need another beating, inmate. The rhino grinned from ear to ear and lifted the extinguisher above his head. Edgar dashed under the rhino, and as he did, his fingers expertly ripped the keycard from the guard's belt loop. What? The rhino turned around, but Edgar had already ran outside, closing the door behind him. Hey! Edgar locked the door and stepped away. The rhino banged on the door. I'll kill you! Open this door up now! The fire alarm was blaring. Edgar ignored the rhino and went next door, unlocking the cell next to him. He opened it, seeing Mickey for the first time. He was a smaller fennec fox. Whoa, Edgar, you did it! We're not out yet, come on. Say, That fire outside might kill everyone, you know. I thought the prison would release the doors by now. Mickey shook his head. No way. They don't care if we live or die. Well, we gotta open the doors. The guard station is over there. They ran to the end of the hall where the guard station was. Inside there was another guard using the wired telephone, staring at them. Edgar unlocked the door and threw it open. The guard grabbed the club and swung. Come on, you think you're getting out of here? Not a chance in hell. Edgar dodged the blows, maneuvering past them. He grabbed the chair and threw it at the guard, sending him recoiling back. Take this! Mickey jumped on the guard's back, biting him in the neck and scratching at his eyes. Ah! Edgar quickly turned to the computer terminal. He pressed the keys until he hit the Open All Cells command. He pressed Enter. Password? What's the password? Ugh, I'm not telling you. Mickey held a claw to his eye. Tell us, or I'll claw your eye out, right here and now. All right, it's Badongus 29. Edgar keyed it in. Password accepted, confirm command. Yes. At once, all the cell doors opened with loud clanks. Mickey got off the guard stared outside the window in disbelief. No! All of the inmates started exiting their cells cautiously. Edgar saw as a rhino left the cell, but he started getting surrounded by inmates. Guess we better get out of here. Wait, don't leave me here. Tell us how to get out of here and we'll close the door. The guard looked out the window. A few inmates started walking over. All right, just take this keycard and walk down the hallway. Just leave now. Fine, come on, Mickey. Edgar grabbed the keycard and him and Mickey left together. The guard closed the door right as the prisoners started surrounding it. Edgar and Mickey ran quickly to the gate, and Edgar used the keycard. The metal bars slid open. Should we leave it open? I don't know. Does the prison riot sound nice right about now? It does, actually. Let's leave it. Mickey shrugged and smiled. They ran past the gate and turned right, this time entering another hallway. From far ahead, Edgar heard boots storming the hall. They're coming! The sounds of prisoners from behind were also getting closer. This isn't good. What do we do? Edgar saw a door up ahead. He ran to it and started trying out the keys from the keyring. Are you sure the key is there? Nope. Edgar kept frantically trying keys until they were all gone. The sounds were getting really close now. Over here! Mickey had found another door that was open. Quick! Edgar dashed over and went inside. The closet was small and dark. Edgar and Mickey barely fit inside. They stayed silent and motionless. A few seconds later, Edgar heard the boots storm the hall. There were dozens of soldiers running past them. After a few seconds, the sounds passed. That was a close one. Yeah, I think we're safe now. Okay, let's keep going. They ran down the hallway. There were seemingly endless amounts of offices. At the end was another door with a panel. Edgar pressed the keycard and the door opened. They walked into the main hall. All right, let's get out of here. Hold it right there. Move a muscle and I'll shoot. The dog seemed incredibly nervous. Edgar, what do we do? Appeal to emotion? Please, we've done nothing wrong. We don't belong here. Ha! Nice try. Everyone says that here. Appeal to logic? Look, you can just leave us alone and pretend like you didn't see us. What's in it for you anyway? You think I'll let prisoner scum like you just go? I don't think so. Appeal to self? Your child is okay, Remy. What? How do you know my name? Your child. Her name is Victoria. She's alive. You were wondering where she was, right? Impossible. How could you possibly know Victoria? Where did you get that information? You let us go and I will contact you with where she is. Hey, stop it! If you shoot us, then you will never know. The dog's radio went off. Everything looking all right over there, Remy? Yeah, everything is fine over here. Come on. Victoria, is it really true? But how? Edgar and Mickey skulked outside into the fields in front of the prison. Hey, you gonna explain what just happened back there? How the hell did you do that? Edgar felt a pain in his head. It was too much information to process. Where am I? Edgar was in a bright meadow with an impossibly big sky. It filled his entire vision. In the other side of the world, there were mountains, forests, rivers, and he could see them at the same time. He could feel them all. His heart was lifted high. Edgar blinked slowly and turned. Al was there, next to him, sitting down. Al? Edgar. Al, look for Edgar. You were looking for me? Edgar, help Al. No more time. Great evil. Edgar felt a deep despair in the pit of his heart. He gasped for air. What? What was that? The evil is here, Edgar. Edgar breathed in and out. Sorry. Al looked like he was struggling himself. Was that but a moment of how Al was feeling? Could Al feel? Edgar, no more time. Al help you. Free Al to stop great evil. But where do I go? What do I do? Al help, if Edgar allows. Okay. Al touched Edgar's arm. Edgar, feel with your heart. Edgar breathed and felt his vision expand. His heart bloomed into many more dimensions of feeling. He was back there, seeing the fish jumping in the ocean, the sky falling, the wild horses running, mountains rising through the clouds, stars shining brightly over the dark ocean. It's so beautiful. Edgar felt a tear roll down his cheek. Edgar! 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 Edgar snapped back into reality. Are you alright? Yeah, I'm alright. You're freaking me out, dude! Sorry. Edgar could feel Al now. It was faint, but Al was still with him. Al, he's helping me. Al? You mean... Yeah, the ultimate weapon. He's showing me things. That's how I knew about the soldier. How could he possibly know that information? I don't know. They kept crawling, avoiding the spotlights. They finally got to the fence and Edgar began digging a hole. I haven't done this since I was a kid. Gotta keep your hands dirty sometimes, eh? They dug as quickly as they could. Edgar could hear the guards yelling in the distance. I would think that you're crazy, bro, but I saw what happened back there with my own eyes. I know, I feel a little crazy myself. They finally dug through the fence and got to the other side. The two foxes ran to the outside. Edgar kept blowing between the grass blades, and Mickey did the same. A short distance away, Edgar spotted the staff parking lot. There were a few clunkers around and a few police vehicles. Let's go get a car. Now we're talking. They approached the police car and examined the door. Maybe there's a key hidden somewhere? Mickey came up and handed Edgar a large rock. Found it! Edgar smirked. What? Nothing. Edgar smashed the window with the rock. He removed the rest of the glass and jumped into the car and opened the door. Mickey jumped in. Say, it's kind of old. I like the retro vibes here. Edgar popped open the console under the steering wheel. I think this is just like a regular car. He popped out his flashlight and put it in his mouth. With his nails, he tore open two cables and touched the wires. Instantly, the car came to life. Where do you learn how to do stuff like this? Oh, you know, here and there. Edgar put the car into drive and the car began to move. Mickey leaned his seat back and put his feet on the dashboard. Where to now? More crimes to commit? Yes, one more crime. Edgar drove along the road to the city. Mickey looked at Edgar. Does it still hurt? Yeah, it hurts pretty bad. You wouldn't happen to have any aspirin, would you? No luck, sorry. Worth a shot. Mickey smirked. So, what are you planning on doing? I have to find Al. But where is he? I think he's in the palace. Why do you say that? He's telling me so, but not directly. It's like a feeling, but more intense. Huh, you are crazy, bro. I know. Dude, if you're gonna doom us all, tell me now. I won't. I think. That's reassuring. Where are you gonna go? I have to go home and see my mom and dad. Oh, I bet they miss you. Yeah, honestly, I might lay low for a while. I kinda miss regular life. I've been in there for far too long and I don't want to go back. Yeah, that place is horrible. I can't imagine seeing those same walls day in and out. I would go insane. I'm dying for a cheeseburger. Personally, I could go for tacos. They were approaching the city gates. How are we gonna get through that? I'm not sure, but maybe... As the car approached, the gate automatically began opening. Did you do that with your superpowers? No, I think these cars have special chip. I figured this gate must be automated. Uh-huh. Likely story. They passed through and entered the city. Mickey navigated Edgar to where he lived. It was a dark part of the city where the city had dumped its poor and forgotten about them. Hey, thanks for taking me out of there. You're welcome. Mickey reached over and gave Edgar a hug. Edgar hugged him back. Here's my number. Text me once all of this is over. Mickey handed Edgar a small torn piece of paper. Alright, I will. Take care. You too, man. Mickey got out and closed the door. He waved goodbye as he ran into the slums. Edgar waved back. I gotta head to the palace. Edgar drove, and in his chest he started feeling impending doom. It wasn't him, it was Al. Although Edgar thought that it might be best to get supplies, he felt like there was no time. Al was telling him every second mattered. He had to get to Al before... One word sprung to his mind. Calamity. The... Calamity? Again, the sense of dread washed over Edgar. Alright, Al. I'm coming. He drove towards the giant pyramid that he had been in just a few hours ago. Edgar arrived at the palace. He spotted an entrance for cars, but it didn't respond. I knew it wouldn't be this easy. Suddenly the dashboard started sparking green. Whoa, what the hell? Then the gate started opening. Al? He passed through and Al started showing him things in his mind. He saw a hidden entrance on the ground floor next to a power generator. As he did so, Edgar felt an immense fatigue come over him, like a massive shockwave to his mind. Alright, I think I know where to go. Edgar drove the car and stopped near what he had seen, a power generator. He got out of the car and saw a portion of the wall with some sort of electronically controlled door. Again, there was a green spark and the door creaked open. Al, you're really magical, you know that. Edgar pushed open the panel door and got inside. He went through a small tunnel and ended up at a door with light leaking through the cracks. As he felt around, he found a handle. Slowly listening carefully, he pulled it open. He snuck outside and was in a familiar hallway. Al, I can't believe I made it this far. I'm so close now. Edgar started making his way down the halls. There were many passageways and doors. Al showed him something again. In his mind, he saw soldiers looking for him. Ugh, that hurts. Edgar felt a wave of pain and nausea, but he knew he had to hide. He ran behind a pillar and dug down. He's gotta be around here somewhere. He waited patiently and saw the soldiers pass him by. They're looking for me already? Again, Al showed him something. A library. Edgar could feel it was down the hall. Alright, I'm coming. He got up and snuck down the hall and found the library. The library was plain and it looked like it was full of old records. Where to now, Al? In his mind, he saw a vision. He saw an ornately sleeved hand. as if it was his, pull a book on the bottom row of books on the top floor. He felt a surge of pain within him. Al, it hurts. He felt his brain pulsating. The intensity of Al's presence in his mind was almost overwhelming. Just a little bit further. Edgar climbed the staircase slowly. He pulled the book as he had seen, and the bookshelf opened. The bookshelf led to another small, narrow tunnel. Edgar followed it until he arrived at an old-looking elevator. He stepped inside. The elevator had a password key. Again, Edgar saw it in his mind, a different set of hands typing a password, and he typed it himself. ELCONQUISTADOR. The elevator whirled to life and automatically started its descent. It went down for a long time. Edgar wasn't sure for how long he was in that tube. Al, my mind, it feels so tired. I never felt this way before. I feel like I can only take so much more. Al didn't respond, but Edgar could feel sadness coming from somewhere within him. I hope you're still okay, James. Finally, the elevator stopped, and he got out, warily. Edgar stepped into a plain hallway with many rooms. His vision was getting foggy now. He walked over to a particular door and saw a number pad. He typed in the numbers as if he had always done so. 48, 17, 89, 8. The door opened. Walking inside, Edgar was stumbling over. Al was behind a thick layer of glass. Edgar found me. Yeah, you were right here all along. It's always the last place you look, right? Edgar stumbled forward onto the panel, barely holding on. He had full-on double vision now. Edgar, I help. Remove limit. Edgar looked at the control panel. Instead of seeing a vision, Al was guiding his hands to the buttons. He started pressing buttons. Suddenly the door flew open. The High Commander marched inside with 4 guards pointing their guns at Edgar. Well, we finally meet again. High Commander. Edgar's vision was going black and fuzzy. Do you have any idea how much damage you've caused? How many criminals you've set loose? Criminals? I met a kid there who was thrown in there for just having different ideas than you. The commander furrowed his brow. You have no idea how the real world operates. I brought this country back from the brink of ruin. If it wasn't for me and the rule of law, it would be chaos, anarchy. Edgar shook his head. I don't know everything, but I know that people in power don't care about us. They don't care about those who struggle every day. But to be honest, I don't care about any of those things. I'm not here to start a revolution. I'm here because it's the only way that I can help a certain man. A man who I hold very close to my heart. That's something that you can never understand. I have heard enough. Your high crimes against this country are over. Edgar quickly turned and pressed the 3 remaining buttons. Kill him! Now! The soldier stepped forward and started shooting bullets. Edgar recoiled and closed his eyes. He heard the bullets bursting into smithereens in midair, with green flashes. He opened his eyes. Al had awoken. What? No! This can't be! The Alpha Drake, now free from his bindings, stepped forward and touched the glass, shattering it. Impossible! Retreat! Retreat! The commander and his soldiers retreated back into the hallway. Hey, Al. Edgar, I'm glad I can meet you as my true self. Al motioned to his back and turned around. Is it safe? Yes, do not worry. Edgar climbed onto Al's back, and Al's enlarged wings extended. He sent energy to his fists, and it glowed a bright green. They burst through the palace roof, sending rubble flying everywhere. Edgar held tightly to the handles on Al's back. He looked down at the thousands of lights that looked like stars. We're flying! Al, we're flying! They flew higher and higher until they were above the clouds. His heart soared. He had never felt so free before. Al, how do we find James? I will show you, Edgar, but first, you must make a choice. Because you have helped me so much, I will leave the fate of this world up to you. Al? What do you mean? We do not have much time, Edgar. Yes, you're even more beautiful. I'll destroy everyone in my way. Chapter 9, Calamity. And that's where I'm going to leave it for today. So, a lot of stuff happened again. Edgar woke up, took Al, the Alpha Drake, I guess, to the city, hoping to get back inside. But of course, they weren't going to be able to, so they were arrested. Edgar was thrown into jail, and I think that Alpha Drake was supposed to be disposed of, but I guess they were going to try to use him. Edgar escaped jail with his new friend. It kind of reminded me of Nick Wilde and of the little fennec fox that hangs around with Nick in the movie Zootopia. And what else? Edgar snuck back into the palace, rescued the Alpha Drake, Al, and I guess the Alpha Drake is now fully operational. But apparently, Furion has activated his own Drake or robot, and he's gonna have to use it, or he's gonna use it to try to take over. And I guess the choice is gonna have to be Edgar helps fight the this other mechanical Drake or something. I don't know. We'll have to see in the next chapter. And write down in the comments what you think for this, what just happened or what's been happening so far. And thank you all for watching. And if you would like to play Super Taco Crew, you can do so by going to down to the description for Decker the Wolf's Twitter page, which should link you directly to the itch page for Super Taco Crew, where you can download to play the demo, or you can pay and you can give them money so that you can play the full thing and make your own choices. Also, there is not safe for work content, so you can see that yourself. Obviously I can't show it to you guys here on YouTube, so I had to turn that off. But there is content that you can see if you pay those $5. It's only $5. Come on, no seas conchudo. But yeah. So I also have a coffee in case you want to give me money. You don't have to spend money on this visual novel, I guess, because you're seeing it here. But if you want to give me that money, then go ahead. Anyways, but yeah, so I guess that's it for now, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.